Hey y'all, I'm Nick,
I'm Markita, and
and
we're
we're Angel 22. All right, y'all. So this is our very first podcast. All right, so welcome to our Tuesday Circle podcast. All right, so I know typically what we do is we do our videos and we try to compress them as much as possible, answering any questions that you all may have for us. So we just wanted to kind of do a spin off into a podcast so that way we can be a little bit more elaborate with our questions and answering, but to also in the future to have guests as well on our Tuesday Circle podcast. So I'm gonna pass it on to Marquita because she's gonna talk about what the topic of today is gonna be.
yes, hey y'all. Um, today's Tuesday Circle podcast episode 201 will be about who is Angel 22. So we are going to be talking all things Angel 22, who we are and who we're not. And just kind of putting ourselves out there to any new followers, any new people that are watching, so that you all know what our goal is. So let's get into it. Okay. So we are going to both give our own perspective about who Angel 22 is. I think we share common ideas about what it means to us together, but I also think that we have our own ideas as well. Do you want to go first or want me to go first?
So I'll go first in answering who is Angel 22 to start. So to me, and from my perspective of things, I think Angel 22 is more of a safe space for women who've lost a mom or mom figure. We want to create a space for women to feel like they can come and be vulnerable just like us, right? So this platform isn't a platform where we want to spend all of our time just talking at you all. We want to be able to talk with you all because we all share um, the same thing in common, which is grieving the loss of a mom or mom figure. So though our mom passed away years ago, we're still kind of unpacking and dealing with grief each and every day, and so it kind of helps us to get other women involved or just other people involved who may share that same common factor because it's a lot difficult sometimes to deal with grief alone. So to have and invite other people in on the journey, I think, is the overall goal of what Angel 22 is, so that we can all kind of take this journey on the road together and to create a space for all of us to be vulnerable, but to also create a safe path to healing.
Absolutely. I agree with that 1000%. Another important thing is that we are Angel 22. Angel 22, um, we make up Angel 22. Our story, our testimony, the fact that we lost our mom at such a very young age, those things combined really is what is the foundation and the basis for Angel 22 and why it is important for us because when we lost our mom years ago, we didn't really have a space like this, not to necessarily show up and pretend that support isn't needed, but we didn't have a space where we could be vulnerable. We could ask certain questions about why we feel this way or why we don't feel a certain way, or why some days it affects us differently. So it's important that we kind of create this space for other people to feel like they have that support where they can share their raw, honest feelings about what losing their mom, what those things make them, what that makes them feel like. That's the most important thing, for us. We're not experts, we're not licensed professionals. We're just two women who share a common story. We're twins, and we just really want to reach back in and help other people by healing out loud. Just like Sissy said, it's important to just make sure that we are all taking this path to healing because healing can look different in so many different seasons. So with that being said, I think it's important that we go into some things that we aren't. And I mentioned some of those things by saying we are not licensed professionals. We are not therapists. We're not psychiatrists. We're not psychologists. Like, what are some things that you think that people should know that we're not, so people, don't blur the lines about who we are and what we're trying to do here?
Yeah, I'm gonna just piggyback because I think you kind of hit all of the bullet points. I think um, I don't like when people look at our platform. I don't want it to look to seem that we are better than others, that we are further than others, that we're more advanced in certain areas of grief because we are not, right? Like Markita said earlier, we want to make this space a space where we can all grow together and heal together, but also to talk about the things that sometimes we are afraid to say out loud, but to also bring it to the forefront so that we can kind of like heal from it or heal through it, right? Because grieving is infinite and it's not linear, right? Like even though like I said earlier, like our mom passed away a long time ago, right? That doesn't mean that those wounds aren't still fresh to us, right? Like for a long time we spent so many years just putting a band-aid over top of grief, right? Like trying to stay busy, trying to I guess not acknowledge the feelings that we feel, but acknowledging them fully, right? We may be like, oh yeah, like it's kind of sad our mom passed, right? But that's it. Like we just kind of would, address it surface level instead of like really unpacking that and like really understanding like how it plays a big part in like who we are, the way that we operate on a day-to-day basis, but also too like it grief changes you, right? So us not even acknowledging the ways that grief has changed us unintentionally, right? Like I don't think anybody kind of takes grief and they think about it as like, oh, okay, well, this is just who I want to be. I don't think that's essentially what happens. I think that it changes you, and it's sometimes hard to kind of address within yourself that you've changed too, because you've been you were one way when your mom figure was here, right? Like and then once they passed on, you know, a lot of you have shed like a lot of you has shut it off, the things that or the habits or the behaviors that you once had when your mom figure was here, right? So I would say I think the biggest thing is for us is like wanting to show you all that we are not perfect. Like, we are fighting the same battles that you all may be fighting, though it may look different. Even the same for me and my sister. Even though we're twins, we're still two different people, right? Marquita may grieve a different way versus the way I would grieve, right? And vice versa. Like it's different and every day it may look like, oh, okay, well, I just cried a whole puddle for 3 hours, right? But then tomorrow could look like, oh, okay, well, I feel I'm a little up, I feel upbeat, I feel motivated, I want to get out, I want to do stuff. But then, you know, it just goes up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And so we want you all to know that we experience the same things you all experience. Like just because our mom passed away a while ago doesn't mean that puts us at the top tier of like, okay, cool, like we're healed, it's over. We kind of dealt with that. Is I don't want you all to kind of get that view of us because that's not what it's about, right? Like we are still trying to find ways and we're still learning ways about ourselves that pretty much we haven't even took the time to acknowledge the way that grief has changed us individually. And me and my sister sit down and talk about stuff all the time, surrounding like how we never even realized until now, until we started this platform, like how grief has changed us. Sometimes for the good, sometimes for the bad, but also knowing that the bad is normal, but it's also okay to take that bad and turn it into a positive. Like it's never too late, right? Like, everybody go through different stuff. So that's what I would say. I know it was a little long winded, but I just wanted to kind of put that out there and be fully elaborate so that you all could pretty much understand, where we're coming from with this. So that's what I have on that.
And I think everything you said was spot on and it was necessary to say because I think I struggle a lot with feeling like we need to be in a certain place before we can help other people. And I had to tell myself, like, no, it's okay for you and those other people to kind of grow together. This is our opportunity to reach back in and kind of build that support system, not just for y'all, but for us too. Because remember, I said we never really had that. I'm not yeah, we just didn't. Like we were not surrounded by other women who were our age who had also lost their mom. That's just the honest truth. Like we didn't. So this is like it's not this is a opportunity for us to build community. And along this journey, we will obtain the resources. We too will be a resource. These are things that we, want to accomplish. So we say all of these things to say this is who Angel 22 is right now. And of course, Angel 22 will forever keep growing. We'll keep adding more and more and more and more aspects to who we are and how we show up in the world and how we help other people. But for right now, this is our solid core. Like we know we want to invest in helping other people and walking with those people to heal out loud. So that kind of wraps up episode 201. Do you have anything else that you want to share?
Yeah, just one more thing before we wrap up. So, what I want to keep hammering home is that like we want you all to engage with us, right? Like we don't want this platform to just be us talking to you all or us just talking about ourselves, right? Like obviously like that is the layer that we had to lay the foundation for so that way you all could experience us being in our most vulnerable state. But we laid that out there because we want you all to join us on that path. Like so we want to be able to make it reciprocal where we're just kind of feeding off of our community, right? Like because like Markita said, like we didn't have like that particular grieving support, right? We didn't go to grief counseling. Still haven't been to grief counseling actually. We haven't. I mean, obviously we have our own separate therapists, right? But like we haven't just kind of tackled grief head on. So we felt like it would be necessary and that it's better to do it with a group of people. And like Marquita said, a community because we think it'll be just that much more impactful when it's we add more people to the herd so that we can all do this journey together. All right, so it's not just us, showing our journey. We want to be able to take on this journey with you all as well. So that's all I have before we wrap up. But as always, y'all, we love y'all, right? I know we starting small, we starting from the bottom. But that is the beauty and the journey is that seeing where we start from and seeing the people who are gonna latch on to the movement and we're gonna continue to grow it each and every day. All right.
So we can't wait to have y'all be a part of this journey with us. And please be on the lookout for episode 202. Until next time, we love you. Bye.
Bye.